does not impact all the teams equally. It doesn't crap. I think that's bullshit. No, it doesn't. Anything like that, where some teams have more players getting banned from returning than others. That is, you may not believe it.
I think my balls got cut off personally.
Yeah, like the fact that I knew that I had reliable returners with St. Louis was a reason why I chose
go to 5,
and I had that taken away.
Maybe I'll go to sleep.
You still had a reliable
Right now I'm trying to my fucking sorry.
I didn't know Wright was any good at the time.
He was your base returner, and he's.
Brad,
I mean,
you need to know that Mike
beast
Fox
with him.
came
I know
in.
that.
Yes.
And I know from your season.
But the point is, it's a rule that changes the complexion of the roster.
Peanut butter together.
And I think voting to put that in mid-cycle
Ben Jerry's always
when it
Always.
doesn't impact every team equally, I think is horrendous. I think it's terrible. I think it sets a terrible precedent, and it never should have happened.
I think it does impact me. I do.
No, absolutely not.
I don't think return. I mean,
Jordan's not going to have
it changes roster makeup. It changes how you deploy your players.
I mean, out of the guys that voted yes, we all pretty much took a hit on returns. We all did.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying if it's something now. If this were a league where we keep the same team and it's always the same team,
well, then
fine. At some point you have to have it take effect at some point and you have to suck it up. I get that. But the fact that we completely reboot the entire league every X seasons gives us an out to avoid that problem. And people voted deliberately to not use that.
So here's the thing:
I think that is disgusting.
How many man balls are you willing to sacrifice to potentially be destroyed or marred by ridiculous kick returning before we put the rule into effect?
Who says it's more?
I mean, I guess that's an opinion. I guess that's an opinion.
Plus, the other side effect of doing it now is we all agree it's not perfect. We all agree it's not perfect. We think it's pretty good so far. But we all little bitch. We all agreed coming in that we didn't necessarily think it was the absolute perfect rule.
No, I think the way what you're trying to say is we all agreed that we were going to continue discussing it and see if how it worked out.
The best goal to say is, okay, now we have 3 seasons to fine tune this to where it is close to perfect.
We could do it this season, and we could be like, that was a fucking bad idea. Let's tweak it. I don't feel that way yet.
I'm saying we have 3 seasons to get it to when we get to the next draft and iteration where we kind of have a framework of this is the best way we found.
So we're kind of play testing for these 3 seasons, basically.
It's part play testing, part going in the direction that we think will work. It's
it's just it really boils down to how you felt about what was happening already. If you felt that it was broken and needed to be addressed, you're okay with this Band-Aid to fix it. If you're like, yeah, it was a lot of kick returns, but that's okay because that's the way it is. You would be more like, we didn't really need to put it in now because this is okay. But and I fall into the camp of this was broken because I got fucking smashed by it constantly. It sucks.
I don't know. I got smashed by it too. We played a playoff game. It was a 1-score playoff game.
Oh, I remember.
You returned 3 kicks. I returned 2.
Oh, I remember.
That was the difference.
Yeah.
I didn't bitch.
I smashed fools with it.
Yes, you did.
And I felt it was, but I felt that was wrong. I did. Like, Dennis Smith shouldn't be that fast. Brad Musker shouldn't be that fast.
But Barry Sanders should.
Yes, he should.
He should, but the
because
fair
he's fucking Barry Sanders.
Yes.
Oh man,
Yes.
Eric, he's in your head. Pun.
Yes.
Which
That's
is where,
why
again, I was like, only use actual returners. But this was the compromise with him.
Eric,
He
how did
should,
even develop
but in order
this
to make
way
the
of
game
holding the
as
paddle?
fair,
Like, how
go
did
back
this
to that
become a
fair.
fair-
I'm trying to remember what game it
Everybody's
was,
forced
but I
to
wanted
be
to
one
toggle
big power guy. So
2
giving
buttons,
everyone
I
a
think.
chance to tackle somebody.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, see what
Reasonable
when I come
chances.
across a
You're
game
not
like
always
that,
gonna be able to.
I would just hold different look to that
Conditions.
game. Like
Give
when
you a
I
chance
play
to
like
tackle the guy.
Tekken or fighting games, I would hold the paddle like this.
Puts it on a fair
That was
level.
why they
Yeah.
did
And I would
the,
switch back to
That's why we
paddle.
went
right.
there.
Go ahead.
Because the punter or the kickoff guy.
The kicker has
Oh, they all have a
I think you're
set
placing
power.
way too much importance on this.
Nice fucking top.
It's
Watch.
all about the speed of the player.
No.
Yes.
No.
It
Speed is
is.
important. It's a common. It's both of them together. Because you go back and
Again,
look at
I
some
think this helps
returns
me with that kind of
guys,
stuff.
I disagree.
Like,
I returned
I would
25% of my
Dan,
kits.
how
from
many
Alexander
games have
Wright.
you played
He has
in
13
the,
hitting power.
How many games did you play in the TLL?
I don't play it too.
Alright. Would you say, though, that a person who has dozens and dozens more games played experience, plus the fact that they play with other guys who played for years and years and years and years,
Whoa.
if they have amongst themselves seen
I
that
play
hitting power
there,
is
and
a
that
problem
rule's
with
garbage,
kickoffs
and our rules is worse.
consistently, and
Fuck you!
you wouldn't lend any credence to the fact that they have experience saying that hitting power does matter.
No.
Because, for example,
No, and the reason
Poirier and
why...
Jordan.
I played in that
The
league.
reason
Their
why
rules
is because
sucks.
the big-
Our rules sucks more.
Wow.
The big,
John
the big
Randall?
Jesus
hitting
Christ.
power Guys, the reason
That was actually
they're
Ezra
effective
Tualu.
is because the
That was
game
white dude?
makes
That was
them
SR?
faster than they are supposed to be on kickoff.
One of the first openly gay
Yes.
I had
players.
this conversation
problem.
After
the
Also,
fact.
guys,
After he played.
Poirier, though, has used guys with 44 hitting power and decent speed, and just because the hitting power alone has been able to be broken with them as well. But in the TLL, there's been a ton of testing done about these.
They've
returns.
modified those ROMs. So
Yeah, well, I'm
I
not-
put no stock
Yeah,
in that.
Watch,
whatsoever.
go watch a video of Bettis, Leroy Butler. I'm not going to say Barry because he's so fast it kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm getting to. Watch how guys kick into them, defend it. They won't get in the play with the kicker because they know if they get blown up, it's going the other way. So they'll try to hang out and time the dive. So when you combine that with the speed, you don't have a guy aggressively getting in the play. You can get better angles. You can get an angle on a guy and get by him. When you put it all together, all of it
That's
together
not on purpose.
creates the problem.
Getting in his head.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like it's definitely this. It contributes
Wow.
and
Keep pounding.
it makes it. Watch how we defend kicks now. The kicker will go get in the
It's
play.
based on the premise that
Some guys are going to
I was expecting a bit more pressure there.
Less are going to get beat.
Yeah.
That wouldn't
Deshaun,
happen.
it's based on the entire premise that if you know your kicker can actually tackle the fucking guy, you'll play the entire thing differently. That's the original
Yes,
premise.
you
That's
will.
the foundation
All right,
that you
so,
then build upon
but if
from there.
here's my counter to that. If Craig Hayward on kickoffs actually moved at the speed
Longest run of the year.
that his stats dictated,
That's right.
sure, if you get your kicker in on him, he's still going to get destroyed by 94 hitting power. But you know what? It wouldn't fucking matter because
That's where it's
you would
the combo.
never get past your own 15-yard line.
That's where it's
That's
the
not
combo,
true.
Dan. That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah, it is.
That's not. I've seen Hayward practically run straight on returns and break tackle after tackle after tackle after tackle.
Because he's only facing one at a time because of the speed boost that he gets. If the speed didn't
that's
matter,
not-
he
that's not
would
always
be
true.
great from scrimmage,
Listen,
and he's not.
you just
because he gets gang
That's not always
tackled
true.
because he's too
No,
slow.
hold on. You just kind of confirmed my point that it's both of them together. Because if he didn't have the hitting power but still moved that fast, he'd get tackled, and it wouldn't be an issue. But because we addressed speed and we addressed hitting power and we addressed it in a way.
But here's here's my counter to that if he had the speed and you took away the hitting power, you could still return a kick.
Nice switch.
Thank you.
He gets just enough speed. It may not. It's not going to happen often.
You
but
play a
can
dangerous
still do it.
game, sir.
That's what we want. You
But if
should
you-
be able to return kicks, but not
Against
that
Randall,
But
very
if
dangerous.
you
I
if you
actually tend to agree with that.
give him the hitting power,
I am
and take
aware
away
of
the
how
speed,
dangerous it is.
You
Jake
are
Reed,
never
70 yards
getting
downfield.
into that end zone.
Ever. Because
Ever.
we can't crack the hex and rewrite the game, we can't take away the speed. We can take away the
I know we can.
And that's where we're
But
trying to
it also
find
says that the
perfect-
hitting power is not what should be the determining factor.
It's the one we can address without nerfing everyone else.
I
I
think it's a combination of those two. I don't think it's...
I absolutely think it's a combination of two, but you can address one without completely nerfing
If I
the
know
other.
that I can tackle the guy with my kicker, I don't mind having a returner against me who's incredibly fast because honestly,
You
it's
can
a
get
thing
in
of
there.
beauty to fucking watch that skill. And as we've seen so far, I mean, we've had what, 3, maybe 4 houses so far? That's it?
Well, 3 in man, 4 total.
Right.
I have 2.
I mean, I guess we gotta look at this year's stats afterwards and be like, alright, do we feel that this was an appropriate number of kick returns? If it was not enough, in our opinion, then we could tweak the rule after this season to see. But it's already seen that
And
it's
then one
less.
against
And the
the
couple of houses that have happened have been really fast dudes who have pulled off amazing moves. I just want to
Should be
see
all
that.
moves.
That's the thing is, I don't want to kill it completely. I enjoy watching a really fast do all kinds of crazy shit and score. It's just that's just more the fact that I can't cover it well enough with my kicker, even though I know I can tackle the guy, and he just manages because of his skill as a player to actually house it. Whereas if he has the hitting power to just knock off my guy no matter what,
And that was John Randall, right?
there's only like fucking
Out.
So in order to address that problem, how to address the hitting.
I mean, Carolina's
It's-
offensive line's pretty
There
horrendous.
was no way to address the symptom whatsoever. That was
No, what comes out of the game too? We could have made a rule that said nobody over, I don't know, 56 max speed. Well, Dennis Smith is still eligible. Brad Muster's still eligible.
Right.
We can't crack the code of the game. We can. Hitting power seems to be something more understood better and accurately reflected in the game versus speed's not.
Since there was no way for us to figure out which high hitting power guys
Are going to move fast.
play
which
with
ones
ridiculous
aren't.
speed.
Like Mark Carrier does.
We had to do
I
the
don't know why,
blanket
he just
rule.
does it.
We had to do the blanket rule of just getting rid of all the dudes with good hitting powers. So that way your kicker can actually tackle.
Not perfect by any means.
Because
but
it would be impossible
I believe it.
to try
No,
to
it's-
figure out why certain guys with high hitting power move so fast. It would take
I don't.
weeks, if not
Again,
months.
I've tried it with a lot of
testing.
other players.
And I'm honestly not sure.
Carrier doesn't. Who was another?
Yeah, I don't think we would ever crack that code.
Bob McAllis. Bob McAllis. But he's supposed to. He has speed with his hitting power. It just. Again, it turned into a shit show. I was partly responsible for that. It's me. You know, we've all kind of talked about it. We didn't want it to be a shit show.
He's 31
But-
average.
We don't want people
So-
to pit. And one of the things I made is I wanted as many people on board and not be angry about it. But, you know, at the end of the day,
Okay. I'm like.
I'm just happy that there's
if
guys
Jordan's
that go
using
fast
Barry,
and
he would have
fast.
housed like 5-6 kicks. He absolutely would. And
Like, dude, I'm not mad about you housing it on the bunk. Because
yeah, that was. Oh, I don't think it was speed. I think it was.
Oh, wow.
You didn't want
it
those
was-
yards.
No, I did not.
And I'm like, you know what? He's really fucking skilled at returns. All right, that happened. So I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't know if we want to take it down to even a lower percentage of house kicks after this season.
I
Would then require
don't know if you're going to be able
limiting
to
speed.
dictate by percentage. I think because we already do limit speed, but I don't think you can limit
Who won't?
63 now because
What do we need
We don't.
more
We don't
for?
limit
Wow.
speed.
right now.
No, I'm saying I didn't say
Well,
that.
Hitting power.
it's hitting
Yeah.
down. Okay.
We decided there were still too many house kicks this year. The only thing
All
we
right,
could do
so
then.
so
But not
then
anymore.
that goes back to the other thing that I was saying when we're talking about. Okay, well, what's too many? We never established a baseline,
And I don't think we know.
and the full numbers were not distributed before the vote.
I will
I
say
don't-
that I don't think we know.
But I think what we did know is there were too many, and it was a gross.
I
too
want
many.
I want numbers. I want hard numbers.
We'll have more after this year, and we'll revisit it. I mean, we're not gonna. I mean,
We will, but you know, even if you say, okay, you convince me, you know, ensure hitting power, then at that point I would want to know, well, what's our baseline for too much? What do the numbers say?
And
I had at
that's
the time of the vote, I had no numbers.
Dan, can I ask you a question? The NFL, and I'm just going to give you some stats. You can. The NFL has a kick return ratio of 0.3%. Kick return touchdowns.
What's up?
The TLL, obviously it's a different animal, but
Yeah.
has a 3% kick return touchdown ratio. Over the last 2 seasons, the NFTGL had an 18% total kick return touchdown ratio. And that's including people like Jones and Jared and myself, who had like a combined, I think, 3 total kick returns between us.
Maybe you're gonna run it.
I was kind of hoping you were going to think that.
So,
That was my gamble.
to you,
That I
what's-
convinced you that I was going to run for it. And
what's
You're gonna come
what's
at
a
me?
number that you would say is acceptable?
you didn't bite on it.
Or rather, did you not, like, I guess to get to it, like, did you feel that that was not a, not even without numbers, sitting and watching and feeling the game, and I know you're more like, give me the numbers, but with sitting and feeling it, did you not feel that it was like, this is maybe a
I
little
felt
excessive?
there were only specific players that were improved.
And I mean, I think a lot of us concurred.
but what? Yes, in a way, but like up until me and Bordier sat down during the off season. You guys, if we would have done a specific list type thing, Dennis Smith would have been banned. Bettis would have been banned.
That's too arbitrary, though, and you'd have a huge slippery slope.
That's
making
where
an example.
numbers would come into play. We would say anyone who returned more than X
That's more,
percent,
but
whatever.
that's a combo of the player because I guarantee you. Let's face it.
It is.
We put Jerome Bettis in the hands of Greg. He's not doing it. We put him in the hands of you, me, and you guys kind of sitting here. It's going to happen. So that's not fair either. But hypothetically, if we would have said, okay, well, we'll ban Dennis Smith, we'll ban Barry Sanders, we'll ban Jerome Bettis, and whoever. Brad Buster would have been on that
I've
list.
always said if you wanted to establish to get
well,
one game in
maybe at the
Carolina,
time,
you get it out of
he would have
Barry's
been
hands.
He would have been added.
Give it to Howard.
After I raped you.
Howard
Not
Griffith.
You.
Yeah,
Unsung
you.
hero
You.
and that's
of
fine.
the rushing attack in Carolina.
But I have no problem with that. So it's like, okay,
So
we didn't know, now we know, and now we ban him. And that's that.
So what if it's a one-time thing? Like, what if we told you, all right, Wright's banned because you had one good season with him and he's been shit since then. And then the next season, Bettis had a ridiculous season. We go, all right, well now he's banned. And then the next season, somehow you made Leonard Russell be really good, like Steve did. And then we go, oh, run straight.
But that's
He's
why
banned.
that's why I was saying we need to develop a baseline for what it is that we're banning.
Okay, so now what you're
I
saying
talk
is,
about banning specific players. I'm talking about banning players who clearly perform way over their actual stats dictate. That's
So,
Brad Muster,
but to you,
Dennis
so then
Smith,
you want to
Craig
ban
Hayward.
Barry Sanders then?
You wouldn't have wanted.
You wanted to ban Barry Sanders then?
Correct. He's fucking Barry Sanders.
But that makes such. It creates a. Nice,
A slippery slope is the
Not a slippery slope. It creates a
It's too
scenario
arbitrary to
where.
go randomly pick and choose players.
Yeah, you're going to get resentment because
He's
like.
not arbitrarily.
No,
picking.
it's not arbitrary.
It's
No,
very
no.
specific.
It's very clear.
The only way it's arbitrary is that we don't know why those players are that way.
Yeah, but there are specific reasons why they're being chosen.
Correct.
Barry's not being chosen because he plays the way you would expect Barry Sanders to play. The problem with that being
He still breaks the kick return element of the game.
So this brings it back to minus problem. So you're telling me, okay, TLL is this percentage, NFL is this percentage, our overall percentage is this percentage. That's great. Why is that news to me now?
That was posted.
I was posted.
I saw that.
When?
I saw it myself.
In which wall?
And hold up, and this is where hold up. This is where I'll take some of the blame for causing the shit show and burying a lot of comments.
This wasn't Barry.
So
Right. So, well, okay, so fine. It was posted. That's great.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I clearly, from what I was saying, had not seen it. If someone knew that it had been posted, you could have directed me there.
I think the impression you were giving was that that wasn't enough stats, and you still.
It probably wasn't.
it was every time.
But
every
I
time
still
stats were posted,
would've
you
wanted
said,
it.
"I want everything. Give
Yeah,
me this."
right.
And we said, dig into the stats and do it. And you said, no. You not once, and I want to say at least a half dozen times, people said, Dan, get those stats and provide them to us, and you just ignored them. You didn't say no. You just ignored it.
Correct. I never said
Yes.
no.
I know you didn't. You just ignored it. You never responded. You intentionally omitted any response of that because you didn't want to do it.
Intentionally?
Yeah,
Did I not just complain about the wall of text where I missed shit?
So you're telling me that every single time someone tagged your name in a post and said, Dan, look through the stats and tell us, whatever, and you ignored it. And this happened at least a half dozen times.
I thought it was open at first.
I
thought I got
just
down
missed
there.
all.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. See, I got the impression through a lot of that your stance on this was no. That was your stance. That's how I perceived the way that you were electing to respond to certain things and not others, was that your response was like Lou's, no. No matter what is said, no matter what is discussed, I will ask for more, I will ask for impossible things. No matter how many times someone comes up or brings up a topic that says basically the stats are fallible. There's no statistics that you can really look at that are going to give you a truly accurate picture because of so many factors in the game and in player skill that are going to paint any kind of legitimate picture that you can look at and go, this is why this is broken. We need to do this. Okay? I mean, there were points where we said, all right, throw out an idea. What do you think is the issue? But you said, show me stats that say there are an issue. Because you don't think there is one, really, except for some guys are too fast.
Not too.
Guys
Too
who
fast and they
grossly
shouldn't be
outperform
Right.
what their
But
abilities
see,
should be.
in the game,
Yeah, I
there
knew that.
are
Hold on,
samples
wait.
of that throughout the game
Wait.
outside of just kick return.
Dan, there was a point. I remember it once specifically. There was a point in one of those threads where you asked for that to find a list of all the guys in the game who outperform their stats. And I think it was you
awesome.
or Bordier who said if you were willing to do the work
we could probably do it in off season.
on your own during the off season to play through all the
What do you think?
teams,
Do you think we could do
do
it?
returns with all the
No.
players,
I think we
and
could.
find and make this
We could,
list.
sure we could. We're not
Do all that
calling
research.
No.
Find all those dudes. Please go ahead and volunteer to do that because holy shit, that's a lot of work. And
a
it might
lot.
take forever.
A lot of games.
And I don't recall if you replied yes or no
I
to
don't
that
recall
or
either.
not. But I
Because
do
there were
remember that
like
being said.
17 threads happening. I cannot possibly tell
Oh my
you
god.
which one was where.
What?
It was a shit show.
Nothing.
I don't understand.
I don't either.
Okay, well, the fact that it was a shit show is when you say it's a shit show, are you saying that the whole conversation aspect was a shit show? And the use of, Facebook sucks.
It does.
Okay?
Yes.
The ability to post
Ooh.
a comment,
I
reply
did
to a
not like
comment,
that.
add a thread within a thread, and have 100 threads within threads
Oh my god.
that all cover the
Yes.
same topic or different topics.
All of that,
Uh-huh.
all that
Okay. So how...
contributed to turning the entire thing into a shit show, or to put
Alright, he
it
was on
more
the other side of the
nicely,
line.
a fiasco.
I was
It was-
literally on the other side of the line.
And again, I take some of the blame. It was.
Not even close.
I was doing the other side of the line.
A lot
Yeah.
of points were repeated, were addressed.
And they also said an angry
You know.
tone sometimes, and
The
I mean,
So, you're trying to keep track of multiple threads where similar shit's being said, but maybe not exactly the same things, but mostly the same things. But then you have to stop the conversation for a few hours because you're at work and you have work to do. All that kind of shit. Like
that's
it
nonsense.
just so.
That was nice, dude.
Thank
it
you.
was.
Perfect.
Wait. Tell them they can fucking wait. I'll get to your work in a minute. I guess I think what we're all trying to get to is just like throughout the weekend, just think of things and then watch and come up. I mean, it's not a closed idea. It's not perfect.
or it is perfect.
We'll find out. I mean, we will find out. We're trying. It's. God, I'm trying to sound like Peacemaker.
Here's the thing.
Lucky guy.
If
We're
spe-
trying to.
so here's the
everybody,
thing.
you know.
If speed is the issue, legitimately, if speed is the issue, and after this weekend, just this weekend, all right. Now it's only one season's worth of stuff. Maybe 2 seasons, 3 seasons from now, we'll see the numbers go up again as people become better at returning.
Actual
Okay,
answer is
not
there
relying
is
on-
no actual issue.
Well, sure. So say before there was an issue in lose run, all right, and there's just way too many kick return touchdowns. You perceive speed to be the issue. I perceive hitting power to be the issue, and I've explained to you at length, statistically and all that, why I believe that to be the case. Okay. If after this weekend, with only a hitting power reduction, we see a significant drop in the effectiveness of kick returns.
I think that kind of.
No.
No what?
Why?
It's a false equivalency.
But why?
Or
Tell us
it
why.
could potentially be.
For
a
one
false
season it could be,
equivalency.
but after 3 seasons, I think you have a tough argument.
No, because you're talking about multiple
My defensive line
factors.
adding
Like,
Dan
you're
Wilson
taking
changes
one out. That
everything.
doesn't necessarily mean that one was
Like
the
actually
only
legitimately scary.
problem.
But that's the only one we're
But that's
removing.
at the end of the day, maybe there's multiple problems. Maybe there are. Maybe speed is also an issue, and that's something that we discussed.
And the reason, before you go back to what you were going to say, the reason I say that is because no matter what
Knew that was
guy's
gonna
hitting
happen.
power is, if he is not moving at least a certain bare minimum
What?
speed on that
It's
screen,
like a
he is
glitch.
not getting in the end zone. Period.
I had the ball though.
I mean, that's not always
And I
true.
didn't, that was
I've seen
weird, right?
slow-ass fuckers.
That's a new one, isn't
Are you
it?
sure you still have
House
the ball?
kicks.
I had the
I
ball,
have
House kick.
I
right?
know, yes. But do you
We
have the
have
ball
to-
right
I
now?
do have the ball.
In Atlanta.
Okay.
They
Whatever.
Do you know what
that's
this
I'm saying.
means?
They-
I have no
they
idea.
weren't Fast.
Okay.
They were fast
What happened?
enough.
If he throws it,
So I got the
It's going
ball.
to be an interception.
right.
Yeah, he got the fumble glitch where he recovered the ball but ended up tackling Eric, and that was the end of the play. Because they gave Eric the ball,
So
but when
you-
it came to here, it's his ball. He recovered.
You gotta run a running
Okay.
play.
He totally recovered the ball. But now if he throws a pass, it's going to be an automatic interception.
You gotta run a running play. I mean,
So, I mean, the only way we can test that is Lou can call any play he wants, and the screen does. You know, when it's a pass,
Yeah.
when Eric goes rifling through his guys,
Yeah, it's
the
gonna-
screen will shift up and down.
Yeah.
That's the tell.
But
that
that's
has
also a
occurred.
tell that it's a pass.
It is.
But it'd be automatic. It's
You know, what is our other option?
the other option is that
Call
he
running
fucking
play.
calls
Call a
running play.
pass
We're
and
back
throw
to
it at
saying-
your own risk.
the problem we're always going to have.
Yeah,
On this play.
This is absolutely something we cannot fix.
He could also call a pass and then run with his quarterback, which I mean is really, you know,
out of the box for him.
yeah.
At the end of the
So-
day, we're all gonna sit on the facts.
I mean, it looks. I didn't. Hit me. Hold on. Let
We just
rifle through you guys.
But it's
Yeah.
like,
Jump.
here-
Yeah, no, it doesn't look-
So it
here's
doesn't
why
look like
No, it
there's an
doesn't.
issue.
It
So-
definitely looked like an issue though.
Bruises, right? This is why I say it's a false equivalency.
Well, we're not going to find out.
For the most part,
I think it's
only
best
a
that
few
you
exceptions.
Well,
Players.
as soon as I saw you call my play, I'm like, well, I'm not going to test the waters now.
Really,
Yeah.
really
That's
good
really.
players.
Usually I don't sleep fine at night.
Nah.
I stay awake from Saturday.
At least
eat
the
breakfast,
ones
play
that
again,
actually
sleep,
get used.
wake up,
So,
shower, change. I'm
You
good
can't
Saturday.
necessarily say, "Oh, it's definitely the
You know
hitting
what I'm
power
saying?
that's the problem."
I have
All
a
you
5-hour
did
break.
was remove
Saturday
a
and
really
Sunday.
good player from the pool.
That's it.
What's Bettis' max speed? 63?
Yes.
We're KR.
Hey,
Yeah, I heard. I was on a stream
Max speed is
a little
63.
bit. I couldn't sleep.
So his max speed is 63.
Yeah.
But if you take them,
It's been a good game.
Bettis returns.
Yeah, when I saw, I don't know how they scored a second touchdown.
You
Right?
have
They did a beautiful
so
same play call.
Yep.
Except Lou rolled up and Eric had run out cover and Lou rolled up.
During
Eric
those
rolled off and
returns, then those
then dropped it down.
What if
despite having the same.
What if the reason he moves faster is because he has high hitting power?
Players to make this huge list. This is
No,
awesome.
no. You were not listening from the beginning of this part of the conversation.
But
All I'm saying is that Bordy's like, well, let me put this to you hypothetically. If we take
Yeah.
we take out
Panthers.
these hitting
And
power
it'll help.
They're good at that.
and then everything drops. Well, you have to admit hitting power is a problem. It's a false equivalency.
We're not-
It's a logical
Yeah,
thing.
we're not saying-
because a lot of those
Yay.
players, like Jerome Bettis, aside from whatever their hitting power is, part of them having high hitting power is that they're just really good.
do that.
So you're not necessarily proving that hitting power is the problem. You're just taking a really good player out of the pool and saying this player was a problem.
So if you take a guy like
Similar
Tyrone
to doing
Hughes,
what we did,
and a
we
guy
could
like
eliminate
Tyrone
all the
Hughes.
broken guys.
Tyrone Hughes is physically in every way a better
Right.
player.
But doing that,
Imagine
what
this
I'm
on a
saying
floor.
is that a lot of those players, part of why they're, like
you wanted to hit
the,
him a
the
stride.
good players,
Probably.
I
I wanted to make him leap.
Stats
I understand
So
that.
you want to hit him in
Wait,
stride
wait,
and
Bill,
run
wait, Bill,
still.
pause.
That's not the case with Jerome Bettis. Most of the players in the game with 63 max speed, most of them are receivers. Most of them have higher body balance, higher agility, higher everything than Jerome Bettis, except equal max speed, lower hitting power. And most of them are worse returners.
Right, because Jerome Bettis, in terms of how fast his pixels actually move on the screen, moves faster than those
Now,
guys.
so here's the thing. If they have the same max speed, and all of their other statistics are higher than his, except for hitting power, it could be a correlation where
It
higher
could
hitting
be.
power,
It could be,
It
but
is-
it doesn't prove it.
you can't
There's
prove
no.
it.
That's what we're getting back to. There is.
But
no
you were asking me,
way.
would that prove it to you? No.
I wasn't.
Definitively
I'm
no.
saying
Let me back to this little point then. There's no way to prove it Because as we already
That's how I
covered and
reckon
already
the code
addressed,
apart.
which is what you seem to want is the impossible of actually going through the entire game and finding every single player who outplays their stats on returns.
And understand.
That's not going to happen. So what you basically
expecting to be an
have
actual
is the brush, and there's a handful of snipers
Sacrifice.
who we're never going to find individually and kill them. And as we try to, they keep killing us. So what we do is figure out where the brush is and where most of them are, and we
Maybe
fucking lay out
there's a
napalm
problem.
and get rid of all of them. There's some dudes
And
that
those
aren't
dudes are
part of that are going to die too, some collateral damage, but at least we kill all the main fucking
But we
bad.
needed to do something.
That's, in my mind, the way we had to take care of this whole problem, because we couldn't do research to find all of those broken dudes. So we had to say, okay, what rule would get rid of all those dudes?
With his
The hitting
little
power,
with
with
his
his
little
little,
collateral damage.
and would still allow the
I don't
really
think
fast
we
returners to exist.
Okay, that's fine.
That was the best compromise we could come up with.
And that's
the only thing I
fine.
could think of.
We don't
But
know that. We
apparently,
can't do it.
in the entire shit show that discussion became, whatever numbers it was that got posted.
Wow. That's what he had after that run.
I know.
Fine, but we're here now, so we're talking about that whole thing now. I think my point is a pretty good point, and it kind of stands. Like,
It was very
the only
crude,
way
but
you
I
can
think
get
it was
rid of
good.
those, and that's usually how I argue is visual metaphors. Like, that was the only way I could think. I wasn't with you
Teamwork.
guys at first, dude. I was with you guys at first. I was like, no. But when I thought about it, I was like, well, I still
You
want to
got
keep
fucked
really
most.
pretty skill returns in the game.
I wanted to
When
ride
I rid of the guys
muscle
that
all
look
over
their
you guys.
stats are broken as fuck. Most of those dudes
fucking
have
awful.
high hitting
Oh yeah, how'd that feel?
some weird
Not good.
We're never going to be able to do the research to find out.
That did
all
not
of them,
feel good.
So making a list of all of them is going to be impossible. Because
At least your players tried to tackle
it and then break it.
You
That's
fucking
gonna be
wanted
the
his
only
hands over Randall Cunningham on
So we
me.
had to lay down some napalm. The only rule we could think of was the hitting power one, to get rid of all of those guys, while still
Thank you.
allowing the fast dudes to exist.
That linebacker keeps peeling.
I think it's the best compromise we could come up with.
That's why I waited to engage till I was near him. I'm like, he'll help me.
It's a pretty good compromise.
It's being able to definitively
Because I still want to see
remove
fan
one
returns.
problem that we could definitively remove. We couldn't definitively remove
That was weird.
speed because
I was, like, in
else speed's calculated for certain guys.
I've heard that before.
That's just
Yeah.
what it is. It's just really what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So
what
all
was the
I'm
other one?
saying at this
Or do we
point
get rid of that?
is like, okay,
Yay!
that's fine. That being said, at the time, I was still not convinced that there was a problem.
Yeah, when we
Well,
know that.
And in
bring
the
it to the
whole
now. That's
morass that everything became, 7,000 concurrent threads, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Which
Oh, come on, dude.
My beef was that we
right,
moved
that's
to a
right,
rule
that's
book. Not everybody had all the information. I have a problem with that. That is an issue to me.
where we're at now, with what we just all said, and all the points that were just raised and acknowledged by you just now, like 5 seconds ago, can you deny that at least the compromise that we came upon is pretty much the only thing we could even think of without spending years and years and years of research that may never still be even fruitful at all to find every player in the game that's broken and that outplays their stats?
There was a rule that I liked that was if they weren't a returner in the NFL,
that was my original
they
idea.
don't return now.
That was my original idea as well.
Or
They
unless
were the
unless
final
they're the base
returner.
returners when you put the original game in, and that's the original lineup setup. I'm not talking about just for the weekend. I'm talking about the base card, any base card, unless they're already in a position, you can't use them unless they're returning in the NFL. I thought anything like that was clean, easy. I thought the tier system was cool, well thought out, and pretty easy. I don't know why people thought it was convoluted. I thought it was fun, and it took all of those broken guys out.
No, it didn't. There were broken guys on that
Which
list.
broken guys that we banned, that we were worried about with Dennis Smith and Barry Sanders and Avery Butler? Which was
Craig Hayward originally was on that list somehow.
Craig Hayward was in.
No,
Yes, he was on the
th-
tier
th-
list.
no,
Yes, he
it
was.
was,
He might have been like tier C or D in lieu of if everyone in tier A or B
That
or
was
A.
for that idea
So
of them
never.
making the list.
Bam Morris was on
In
there.
my mind,
Yeah,
I was
Mars
able
was
to
on
say,
the
all
list.
right, well, there's all this bullshit with these
He
series and
returned
stuff that we're never
4
going to figure out.
hits in
Against
one
Seattle.
season.
Yeah,
Blowout.
fuck
And I do
If
also
we're already
think
going with the whole
that if we
logic
saw
and
things like
premise
that, and if we kept
behind
talking about
the
that
running
before
back
it got
receiver
shot down,
fiasco
we could have been like,
that I didn't
this
like
should
in the
never
first
happen.
place, but, like,
Van Morrison
limiting
for
2 years
one
fucking
position
Yeah.
is stupid.
Had that
my
on
idea then of
Like,
let's
that's
make a
really
list of the actual returns
I-
to then add more
We could
realistic
also
to
just
the
said,
game.
unless
So
this
based
guy
on
had
that
10
logic,
plus
I was
returns
like,
in his
kick in the dick.
career,
I can get behind that.
in his
But
career.
enough people argued that.
Well, then
list
Barry
I
Sanders
hit
was
five.
on that list.
All right.
too limiting.
What I'm saying is
There were
we could have found a
injuries.
number. We could have done
Right.
research and been like,
And then it was like,
this
well,
number of
Well,
returns.
what
What I
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
suggested was to go through every player
So
and
then
have
they came back to Dan
two
the idea of
seasons
saying,
in
well,
the
maybe we'll do a
NFL with
list
X amount of returns
still
during
having
the
a
season,
stat
say like 50.
restriction. And then it was like,
There's a
well,
lot.
That's easy to
if we're
make.
doing
50s
that,
are
let's just go back
equal
to
to
a
return
fucking
kicks.
stat restriction.
Yeah, no,
It's
no,
gonna
it's
make
a
it
lot of
less
things.
than-
So if they
We're
had
gonna
two
have that
seasons
conversation
in their
where
career where they were,
put it all
you'd
out.
have to go through every
The
single
difference
player.
between the
My
list
problem is that doesn't
and the
correlate to
list with
fixing
being
broken
just
in
the
the
stat
game necessarily.
there was only like
It
five
only correlates
dudes
to what
that
happened in
Yeah,
the
but
NFL.
once we have
That
that
was it.
list, though,
and we were like,
and
well,
we
let's just
look at
fucking
that
go with
list,
the compromise.
we have a pool of players that we can look at and be like,
Okay, so
these are the guys that are still
then
good.
For the most part,
brings me to
that
other
actually
questions I
would
had
have fixed
the
it
entire thing.
because
Right.
the people that
I was just sitting here. I'm like, clock's my friend. Clock's my friend. Clock's my friend.
Probably wouldn't have
I'll run now.
Yeah.
like 50.
And then
plus
also,
Yeah, no, I hear what
all
you're
of those
saying.
people that would have been allowed to be used.
It would have been
wouldn't
extremely
have been
restricted.
high gun power.
Because then I'm
So-
down the. What if I don't?
Hey,
What if I don't want to use
PLL
Tyron
is
Hughes because he's so
X%
important on the
NFL
other end of my
is
team?
whatever.
What if I don't want to use Tyron?
Oh,
Hughes as a kicker?
fuck.
what are we
Yeah,
trying
you
to
should be
Are we
able-
trying
I
to
wanted
get
his B
the
too.
overall return
Fuck.
rate down to 10%?
Yeah.
We're trying to get it to 5%.
Congratulations, Eric.
No,
You get a shot at
I
this.
think that rule is much better
I'm with you on
because
that.
then it
I don't know
pleases
how you
guys
think.
like
I don't know how you are.
who
You would want that.
maybe
Fat finger
use
it?
the shitty
Nah.
return.
I hit Y instead of B.
Well, now gives him more shitty returns used in that.
And then once
No, I hit Y instead of B.
Yes,
My
I know.
problem
You
is-
actually hit the Y
play
button.
test.
So what's the penalty?
It's not your punts.
He has to do punts.
Different ideas
Tyron Hughes.
before
Now,
putting any of them into
Which I don't want to
rule.
use. I should have. Yeah, I should
And
not be.
Check another guy that's on the team.
Whichever one
There's
fit
not
our goal
first or in the world.
most
What I'm saying is
would go into
that's at
effect
least a
the
rule
next
that
iteration
allows
as
flexibility
eligible.
and research.
Ideally,
practice.
that
It
would
allows
This
your
your
flexibility for me.
No,
having
what
an
I'm saying
established,
is
well, what the fuck
we
is
could
our
have
goal
seen
here?
that
Instead of
and
just
been
saying,
like, well, maybe
oh,
not
this
one
fucking
of
guy's
these
a
guys
broken
that
record
are
us right now.
tier
That
A,
part
tier
was
B
being
guys.
rushed. Or something like that.
Yes.
We could have been
That
part of
was the
Or
big
we could
problem
have
that I
seen
had.
once we
I'm not
had
hating on that at all.
of
I
actual
did
returns.
This is when you put it in the hands of
Which is why
how we
we can
roll
still
and let them run
kind of
wild.
These are your returners. You might have three.
Anything's
Well,
possible
after
with
the
Howard
Howard
Griffin.
We can now look
We
at
could
it
have
after
talked about
this
that
season.
because the season was coming in pending.
And say, all right, well,
And people
what's
just,
the
for some reason, jumped on the hitting power rule. That kind of
Was
got
our
pushed
rule
aside.
too
That was really
extreme?
disappointing because I feel like that
Or
offers more
do we make
flexibility
it even more?
in how
We have to then
come
come
to
to
an
a
agreement with who's a returner and who's
Right.
not a returner.
So
And I feel like that was a lot cleaner.
we need to
Because
figure
I
out
do
what
agree
we
with
want,
Lewis,
which will wait percentage of returns. I still.
I didn't see that.
So that
I
kind
don't
of
know.
in case
Ah.
what I was just saying. So that goes back to the other
We're ready.
issue
I don't
that
think
I
it's clean
had.
because of bang. You know, when
We had a shot. They gave you a shot.
West
Was
West
it band sheet players too?
We got fucking
There's
right.
no returners in there.
Fumble play.
Yeah.
I knew as soon
But
as
the
he
thing is that we
said
also have precedent though.
he's an average.
Because we've already made a rule that's going to pass like
Yeah.
Were there any
I mean,
any other
I don't
fumbles
know
at all?
if passes
in the game?
Thanks,
Honey,
Lou.
Randall
No.
was rocking it.
I like that.
Thanks. Who said thanks?
Yes,
Daniel.
it's simply a game and a simple
Oh, you won, right?
of sport.